I'm Joel Roberts. I'm a former talk show host on KABC Talk Radio in Los Angeles. I am the president of a media consulting and communications firm, and I am also someone who benefits greatly from network care. This tape is going to be an interview with Dr. Donald Epstein, who created network spinal analysis, and we're going to explore what network is and what the first level basic care is all about. Hi, Donny.
Hi, Joel.
What is all this? What are you up to?
I made a decision a few years ago, which was a real powerful decision, and that was, how can I do the least to get the most?
You're an inherently lazy human being.
So that's exactly it. How can I do the least to get the most? So what I wanted to know is, how can I intervene with working with someone in the most conservative way to get the greatest result? Then I took a look at what was the result I wanted to get.
Would be helpful to know.
Okay, so these are some important points. And most people's results when they see a healthcare practitioner is for the concern of the symptom, the disease, to reduce. So at best, they'll get their old life back.
If the pain you have goes away and you restore the previous condition, success.
And that's what all licensed professions are based upon, and every profession has its specific niche in finding out this is the cause of why you lost your health, and we're going to help restore it. And if you get close to being the way you were before, you're really happy. I said that's not the goal I want to look for. Instead, if a person goes back to where they were before in their symptoms, perceiving life in the same way, making the same choices, what happens was they're going to wind up in the same place again. Instead, I said that I'd like to be able to intervene wherever it makes the biggest difference with the most conservative way for that body to get and that person to have a new baseline, something they never had before, get a new life.
How do you measure that? What does that mean?
Well, that's a real good question. The social sciences and the biomedical approaches have two different ways of measuring things. And that's been a pretty big issue as the concept of wellness has become the big buzzword. In the biomedical fields, it's did your symptom go away? Did the laboratory tests come to average? Did whatever pathophysiology, whatever disease or condition, did that reduce? And it's assumed that if that happens, the person's well. The data and the research shows that there's a lot more than that, just whether someone's well. Instead, the things people are looking for is, can I deal with stress more effectively? Am I happier in my life? You know what? This shoulder, my back really hurts me, but you know what? It feels like I'm working through something. The ability to be able to listen to your inner voice or what your body really desires, the ability to enjoy life more.
When I hear you say these things, I love every one of them. The ability to enjoy life more, handle stress better, be more in tune with yourself, etc. If I didn't know we were talking about something related to chiropractic, and we can talk about how this does and doesn't relate, I would think we were talking psychology or spirituality.
Isn't it amazing? Well, the concept of the body-mind lately, it's what's happening is people talk about the body-mind connection. There's no connection because they were never separate. It's both sides of the same coin. And what I started with is the decision I made some time is, how can I intervene? If intervention occurs at the spine, which is the conduit between the brain and the body, then indeed what we can have is a situation where the functioning of the brain could change and the function of the body could change.
In conventional chiropractic, and I have certainly had conventional chiropractic care, the idea is that they manipulate your spine to reduce tension. They eliminate what I think is called a vertebral subluxation.
Correct.
And you feel better. You seem to be saying, we're going to manipulate the spine in a very different way, and not only perhaps will you feel better, you'll make more intelligent choices, you'll look at life differently, you'll process life differently. In conventional chiropractic, they work on the physical, the result is physical. You seem to be doing something that's physical, but the result goes way beyond the physical.
Within chiropractic, there are different approaches, and many have developed areas that have emotional and psychological changes. The consistency of that is not as great as I would like to see. In developing network, I found just the way, the answer to how a very gentle touch at the spine can help the brain change its basic state of the way it perceives the spine, the body, tension, and the world. What the concept I started with as a chiropractor was to find out how can I correct these subluxations, these interferences between the brain and the body, mechanical tension at the spine. And eventually, what really bothered me was that I had to keep going after them over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Now understand, even if that happens and a person regains their health, that's amazing. Many people taking medicine over and over and over again, mm-hmm, and not having a net improvement in their whole body and life. So I came to a conclusion, and it's one of these ahas, or mm-hmm, actually, aha. Mm-hmm. And that was that when the body goes in, experiences stress physiology, and we all know about the stress physiology. Police car comes behind you with a siren, and somehow the sound of the siren or the flashing lights in the car cues your nervous system to have the heart speed up, your muscles tense, you start sweating, your body is reacting. No one touched you.
Breathing differently.
Mm-hmm. The whole body locks up. If you have a symptom, the symptom may show up again.
All this from a flashing light that could actually be for someone else.
That's right. And you're already wondering, you don't even think you did anything wrong and you're mm-hmm, reacting. Mm-hmm. So that's called stress physiology, and it results in what I call defense posture.
Literal posture.
Literal posture. What happens, the neck elongates, straightens, the head comes forward to the shoulders, the body tenses, so your body is ready to run away or attack. Your fists start clenching. Your body is in a state to protect itself. Its life is perceiving its life to be in jeopardy. And there's so much literature about what happens, the effect of stress. See, stress is not bad. We need it to live. We need it to grow. We need to enjoy life. Mm-hmm. The difficulty is when we get stuck in that pattern. Mm-hmm. So what I realized is that the misalignment of the spines, the vertebral tension, the spasms, the different things that chiropractors, osteopaths, physiotherapists, and many professions try to correct, improving people's health doing that those are adaptations or they're processes associated with the body being in defense posture. And I could go to move the bone, I could try to release it and improve the health, but the perception the person has underlying everything is, my life is in jeopardy. When that happens, and the brain is in stress physiology, and the body wears it like a suit of armor, wears it as defense posture, what happens is the part of the brain that brings out your higher level of humanity, its blood supply is diminished. It can't function as well. What is that part? That's the part of the frontal lobes of the cerebral cortex, what makes us human. That area, all of a sudden, doesn't get the same blood supply. That's the part that while you're smoking a cigarette says, what am I doing this for? You're in a relationship and the same pattern came up over again and again, and all of a sudden that part of the brain says, I've seen this before, been there, done that, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. When someone comes over and startles you, and you get nervous, or you get frightened, and then you go, it's just a friend. The idea is that's the part of the brain that allows us to take the information from every part of our body and our experience and decide, is this the best I could do? Is this the best response?
Thank you for watching Network Care Part 1 by Dr. Donny Epstein. Please continue to Part 2 or visit wiseworldseminars.com to find a network care provider near you. Have a great day.